Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today we are going to be talking about Dr. Stone Season 2, Episode 5, or Dr. Stone, The Stone Wars, Episode 5, whichever you prefer. I prefer Season 2, but hey, that's just me. So, really not a whole lot going on this episode, I'll be honest with you. They built a car. Started with a car. They made the car. They did improvements to the car. It almost looked like a ship. And then they made the car into a tank. And I will include an image of that at some point in time. There was kind of a heartfelt moment between Senku and the elders of the village as well. Magma tried to stop the car, got ran over by the steam engine car. They built fancy tires for the car out of bamboo that were kind of like the Space Rover car, where they were airless tires where the vehicle goes kind of slow, but it can get over pretty much any terrain. They got stuck on a hill, and Tsukasa is building some traps, and we figured out where Chrome was. So that is just the brief general summary of the episode. So we begin the episode with Gen basically driving the vehicle. He's the only one that has a license. He's the only one that has experience actually driving a vehicle. So Senku has made him the designated driver of the steam engine vehicle. Because he obviously, he has the most experience, so it makes sense for him to drive the thing. It's very uncomfortable, very bouncy. Walking there, it's not that far away, so they can walk there. The general purpose of the car initially was for the older folks in the village, but they realized that, hey, Senku, we're just going to hold you back. We believe in you. We trust you. You can go ahead and take the rest of the people. We and some of the smaller children will hang back. We'll look out for the village. We trust that you'll defeat Tsukasa's empire before they even get here to harm us. And we'll look after the village, and whatever happens, happens. And it was a nice kind of heartfelt moment. They after they modified the car, Kaseki and Senku kind of had a showy moment, narcissistic moment, where they were like, I can't believe Chrome's not here to look at this car right now. It's so awesome. He's going to be so jealous when we bring it in. I thought that was pretty funny as well, how that whole situation panned out, where they were kind of like, oh, we're going to make fun of Chrome and rub it in Chrome's face that we have a working vehicle now, a steam engine. And that was just so narcissistic. But the old people came over and were like, look, we're just going to slow you down. We can't really fight. We need to be here to protect the village, etc. And it's not, I hate to say, going to war, you don't see old people and you don't see children in war. And there's a reason for that. It's because they don't have the physical capabilities to do so. A child is going to, get tired after a certain period of time, and so are elderly people. It's, unfortunately, it's biology, and they understand this. They were like, we trust you to get the job done, and, all the stronger people are off going to the village, going after Tsukasa's empire in order to free Chrome. Because the main goal at this point in time is to free Chrome. There isn't a massive game plan for not fighting it. I know they have all the technology they may have brought with them, so they're probably going to continue to use Lillian's voice possibly in order to maybe convert a few other people. Either that or Taiju, Nikki, and Yuzuria are all going around, kind of mentioning things, going to the people that they think will, easily convert over to Senku's side and get them on his side. So that way a lot of people, kind of turn on Tsukasa when push comes to shove, because Tsukasa's not going to go down without a fight. There is going to be a physical fight between somebody and Tsukasa. We don't exactly know how that's going to be. We know it's not Senku, but there is definitely going to be a physical fight between somebody and Tsukasa. That's just how it has to be. Now let's go back to the car, because this is kind of where we're getting the idea for freeing Chrome. So Suika becomes Detective Suika again and goes out, figures out where Chrome is. Chrome yells, makes a lot of noise, so that way she pinpoints him because he sees her little melon hat. And now we know where Chrome is, so we can save him. She brings that information back to Senku and the rest of the Kingdom of Science. However, meanwhile, Tsukasa thinks that they would build a vehicle. He thinks that Senku, because they have access to coal, they have access to steam power, and he thinks they're going to have some sort of vehicle that they're going to try to bring everybody over with in order to free Chrome. And he's not wrong. Tsukasa definitely is a smart person, and he's setting booby traps all in front of Chrome in order to prevent this or destroy whatever vehicle is coming with everybody inside of it. So, but at the same time, Senku literally builds a tank with carbon fiber. If you're not familiar with what carbon fiber is, sometimes they build guitars out of it. Very lightweight, very strong. They use it on like sports car panels, things along those lines, spaceships. Great material. And apparently the gist of it is paper and plastic fibers combined that are super strong, super well put together. And he manages to make this by kind of boiling down weeds and then kind of smushing the remains together. And I guess that makes paper. I have no idea. I'll take their word for it with the science aspect of it. But I guess that's an easy way to make paper is basically you just take a bunch of weeds, boil them down, smush them together, do a little finessing, and bada bing, bada boom, you got something that's like the equivalent of a piece of paper. Now, paper by itself is weak, and everybody around him is like, hey, this is really weak. How the heck is this going to protect us? And then he layers it with the plastic, makes a cross-section shield to support it as well. Then he has a standoff with Kenro, and Kenro friggin' stabs a shield. He stabs his spear into a tree, cuts a tree down, and he was like, hey, how is that flimsy little thing gonna hold up? Because I just cut down a tree with my spear. And then he crams it into the shield because it's carbon fiber, it's super durable, actually ends up breaking the spear itself and only leaves a small dent in the shield, although Senku does get hit with all of the momentum, and that was their best way to test it to make sure it worked. And now they have a tank. So they put all these kind of panels out of bamboo and carbon fiber, or kind of carbon fiber, I guess is the best way to describe it. And now we have a working, usable tank that we're going to charge in with in order to protect everybody and get Chrome out of there. Unfortunately, Senku does not know that there are booby traps and that he might possibly lose that tank right away, because it is kind of like a one-hit thing where, you're going to cram the tank in there, take out a couple people possibly in the process. Genro was like, hey, can we just flatten everybody? He was like, no, we're not going to try to kill anybody. Sorry, Magma. Sorry, Genro, we're not doing that. We're not on that wavelength. But Kohaku says, that the best way for us to keep the tank and everything to work out is if Chrome somehow manages to escape on his own. So that's probably what we're going to see next episode is Chrome. It's going to be a Chrome-heavy episode. He is going to figure out a way to escape, because all it is bamboo. Bamboo is not the strongest thing. Pandas eat it. Pandas can get through it. I've had a piece of bamboo. When it's dried out, you can break it very easily. When it's not dried out, it's fairly flexible, depending on the thickness of it. But if you try hard, you got a sharp rock, you can get through it fairly easily. So I think that's what Chrome is going to do. He's going to figure out a way to get out and warn Senku of the traps. And then we'll probably get more into a battle episode 7-ish. We haven't actually seen anybody fight yet, but we're getting there. We left all the old people and children behind, and now we got a tank, which is pretty cool. But not as I said, we got a tank. That was basically the gist of this episode, is we have a tank and we have a plan to try to rescue Chrome. And then obviously Senku showing himself being a great leader to the villagers, and that was the episode. Bada bing, bada boom. We're rating this one. We'll say like a 7 out of 10. It wasn't terrible. It was pretty good. But there's definitely been better episodes this season, and I'm sure next episode's going to be a really great episode, or I'm hoping it is, where we either get to see Chrome escape, or we get to see a epic battle finally play out, because we need some action. I know this is a lot about more of the science, but there is occasional action in it, and I think they need to sprinkle a little bit more, finesse that in there a little bit more. Get us some fighting in there. Maybe get us a little bit of bloodshed. Not a lot of bloodshed, just a little, a sprinkle of bloodshed to appease the violence that is building within me. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up this review. 7 out of 10. Decent episode overall. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future anime and cartoon related videos. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.